Hello, hunters. Oh, it's fine. Hello, hunters, and welcome to the Hunters Hub episode 33. Today, we're going to be talking about Lunastra and Arc-tempered stuff. So, before we get into all of that, welcome back, Toaster. Almost did it.
Aloha, people.
And then, welcome our new guest, G-Rank Qurupeco. How you doing?
Doing all right, thank you.
Great.
Welcome.
So, I'm going to be honest, I've seen you on Twitter a bit before, but I actually heard you on the Carve, and I was like, we got to have this guy on. So.
Oh, no.
As you talked about with them, we're not going to go into that too much, but you mostly, you were on there to talk about you hitting HR 999, which is an amazing feat. Now, they keep saying you're the first, but are you the first in Monster Hunter World, or just...
I highly doubt that.
Okay. Yeah, I highly doubt I'm going to be the first to double crown Lunastra too, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm pretty sure I've already lost.
I have my fingers crossed for you.
Oh, I have some bad news for you. Because she got a large crown today.
No, I did not. I haven't got any, despite I have killed 58 of them already.
Wow.
Oof.
How long has it been out now?
It came out last week, Wednesday night.
You are a dedicated man.
Yeah, like about most things. So we like to do a little sort of intro questions, G-Rank, to sort of get to know you, have our fans get to know you. So first of all, I know you talked about this on the Carve. I listened to that episode, like I mentioned, but we like to know, how did you get into Monster Hunter? Like, what drew you to it?
I got into Monster Hunter around Mon Hun Try.
Okay.
Just because I was looking for a new game to play, and I saw the commercial for on TV with Mr. Ironbeard. Who was
yes.
driving force behind my love for Mon Hun. I miss that man. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I love those.
That's what got me into it.
Was that the Viking dude who always was showing up at museums and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has the crabs and the mammoth.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love the one where it's in the Serengeti, and they're like the majestic cat, or what? Yeah, they're talking about the lion, and they're like, oh, but it's just a pussycat in comparison to monsters on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, there's also that video where he was like driving around a campus with a pickup truck, and the guy was head in the back of his pickup truck.
Yeah.
Love that.
Like, what is this? And the one he goes through a drive-through with that same truck.
Yeah, he's trying to get people to cook it. He's like, no monster, no.
Oh man. So we like to ask, what is your favorite weapon to use?
My favorite weapon is the lance.
Nice. Full-on Guild Knight.
Full-on Guild Knight? Oh, the new outfit you're talking about? Or?
No. The Guild Knight. The lore is the Guild Knights. The police. They all use those lances. You see them in 4U.
They don't do nothing. They just stand around.
Well, yeah.
Just
You're
stand around
right.
and stop you from talking to the G-Rank people until you've proven yourself.
Halt.
Well, they did die to a bunch of Seregios, didn't they? Or at least a couple of them.
Some guy got tossed, I remember.
Oh, okay.
I actually wanted their lances too. They had the really, really long lances. Like, I want that one.
So, I have a quick addendum to that question. Is the lance what you primarily used to grind really quickly to 99.9?
Oh, I don't know if I can call it really quickly, but yeah, my shtick has always been like Lance 2999 since 3U.
Nice. Okay. Making sure.
Yeah, all right. That's admirable. I normally stick with one weapon myself also, but it's changed over the different games. I think I'm starting to do, like, every new game, I'm changing the weapon just to do it. But during that whole game, I stick with it. So, yeah, I can understand sticking with the weapon. Comfortable, at least. So for one of our other questions is, we like to ask, what are your top 3 monsters?
Across all games?
Yes.
Oh, man. I have a list here somewhere. Actually, 1 second.
Correction, across all Monster Hunter games. We're not asking for Metagross or anything from Pokemon either.
Metagross. Oh, you Pokemon. Hold on. I literally have a list here, and I keep screwing up the order of the monsters I like the most. But the first one, of course, is Qurupeco.
Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Qurupeco for World.
Okay, I really like Radobon a lot too. He's my favorite like world monster in this game.
Really?
And for third, yeah.
He's fun to break all of his parts. He's a really good, like, part-breaking, fun monster.
Yeah. The third monster is hard to pick, honestly. There's so many like good monsters like for different reasons.
Right. No, yeah.
Like in the third slot, like whoever's playing the third slot is like between Devil Joe and Great Jagras and Great Gyros. I love all those kinds of monsters.
Oh, wow. We haven't had someone say Great Gyros yet.
I love Gyros. He's just a big old snake dog.
He is. I did farm over 230 of him. Or, no. That was 190.
Oh boy.
190 to get his
That's
crowns.
still a high number.
Yeah. I got him confused with Puke. That was 230.
Ugh, Pookie.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep calling him Pukey.
I like his when he gets mad, he like closes his eyes, he gets all red in the face, and his like frill folds backwards.
He's like having a temper tantrum.
Gilbert Gottfried, but monster form.
Yeah. Oh, Iago. Yeah, that's what it is. They need to make a red one. Call it Iago.
Oh, definitely subspecies. I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love some subspecies. And Toaster has a bit of a racy question for you.
Is the best question. If you could go on a date with any monster, which monster would you go with?
Ooh, from World?
Any monster.
Any monster. Oh man.
If you want to give two
answers,
answers, one from World, one from other games, sure. But
I don't know. I'm trying to think like who's the most respectable monster? Who would treat me right? Who would buy me dinner?
I mean, I know who could afford to buy you dinner.
I feel like Jagras is out. That boy, a pig. But those dreadlocks are fine. I'd have to go with... I don't know. Honestly, that's a really hard question. I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, this one
Radobon.
does throw people. Radobon?
Radobon.
Okay.
He's got a charming smile.
All right. I can dig it. He's got that little crooked smile because the bones come up that one side.
He's got the Phantom of the Opera mask going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does. I forgot about it. It does kind of cover his eye in just a bit.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, I haven't really looked too closely at Radobon, but that is true.
I've gotten run over by him several times.
Oh, he is so fun to longsword counter. He is so fun to do that with.
I think this fight's really well done in general.
The thing is, I don't get hit by his actual attack. I just get hit by him when he's moving between zones, and I'm not paying attention.
That's the best, though.
Look both ways before crossing, Toaster.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how you avoid that. Well, I guess we'll just move right into one of the main topics is Lunastra, and she just came out, as we said, last Wednesday. And for reference, this is Tuesday, so it's been a week almost. It'll be a week tomorrow, and so what do you guys think? Is she great, or is she okay, or?
She's on my list of monsters I wouldn't go on a date with because she is terrifying.
Agreed. Actually.
Don't like the blue fire, hot fire.
I mean, I like Blue Flyer. It's just something you admire from a distance, you know.
She's pretty to look at, but engaging with her is another story, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it goes, right? In anything like dating and that kind of stuff, just getting that first conversation going, it's kind of hard, right? So you don't want to get shot down, or in her case, lit alive.
Welcome to
I feel
date.
like Lasha's the kind of girl who would be like, look at your text while you're in the bathroom, and you come back, she's like, yo, who Pink Raytheon? Like, Pink Raytheon's just a friend.
Welcome to Daters Hub, where we give fantastic dating advice as well.
With monsters.
Yes,
Exactly.
Nice.
I think she's really visually impressive, like pushing the bounds of what you can do with a monster. And Xeno'jiva was also in that category of really impressive, but he didn't push the whole particle effects and fire effects thing.
Right.
He didn't really look like he belonged in Monster Hunter at first, is my opinion.
He looks very alien. You're right.
I love it.
I do love him, though.
Oh,
His
yeah.
weird, like, dragon human hands.
Yeah. I never really. I didn't really consider those, but those are kind of weird.
Clammy.
So, they'd have to put him in the game, but sorry to distract from Lunastra for a second, but I want
I love talking about
fight.
monsters.
I want a fight where you have to fight Xeno'jiva and Gogmazios in one big arena.
Oh my god.
So you have like the light and the darkness fighting against each other. The
feel like they would
old
just, like, sit on
decrepit,
Gogmazios.
the old decrepit, and the brand new and shiny.
I mean, if you really want to get old and decrepit, you would put in Leo. Well,
Lao? Question mark?
yeah, Lao. Sorry, bad pronunciation.
No, it's fine. Man, he doesn't even count as a fight.
I mean, it kind of does at the end. Kind of.
I love walking back and forth slowly.
He roars.
Not actually attacking the hunters. Yeah, he does roar. You're right.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a very boring fight. I've never liked that fight. I like the concept of them though.
And it's coming back in GU.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Sure is.
So, back to Lunastra though, just stunningly like visual. Just it looks great, and I'm glad they made her special versus just Blue Teostra.
Oh, definitely.
Which is, I mean, I know you guys are third generation post, but for me, being in the game since the beginning, having fought her in Freedom 2 and Freedom Unite, that's what she literally was to begin with. She was a Blue Teostra. Basically, she was the offline version, and Teostra was the online version, and they were practically the same, kind of like Monoblos and Diablos. That was the same idea.
I don't know. I was told that she was weaker than Teostra in the past games.
Well, that's probably because she was offline. Maybe she could have been, but there's a bit of a difference between online difficulty and offline difficulty too. That might be the case. She might have actually just been, weaker ratio wise too, but I mean, offline quests were definitely easier in the portable versions. In the OG Monster Hunter, they did not make it easier.
Oh boy.
So, one thing I've noticed, because I actually have not gotten to fight Lunastra, my week has been way too busy. But one thing I've noticed is they did kind of split how they acted in terms of moves as well, like the the whole fire and versus blast thing. She seems to use a lot less blast than Teostra. Obviously, she has her supernova just like he does, but
she's all heat
it's
and
less
fire.
explosions and more whoosh.
Whoosh, you're dead.
Well, she doesn't actually have blast element whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never got blast blight to my knowledge, and I think I've been hit and killed by everything.
Does her Nova factor in fire resistance or blast resistance?
I'm pretty sure it's fire.
Okay.
So what happens is her Nova goes up. So she has that mechanic where she sets blue fire down on the ground.
Yeah.
And whenever she does another fire attack or even wind or anything, like her wings can set it off. Basically, it causes an explosion. It does damage in that fire spot. In the meantime, it's draining your health if you're standing in it also.
I'm going to go ahead and say also, Lunastra is responsible for the single most terrifying thing I've seen in Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah?
The blue fire tornado.
Oh, I love that mechanic. It's really cool.
It looks neat. Have you seen it both blue and red?
I did not know it could do both. That's even better.
Yep. It can do both.
It's fine. The tornado doesn't move, thankfully, not like 3U, where you have Barrios tornadoes following you around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 4U did that too.
Yep.
Kushala.
Oh yeah, Kushala's tornadoes.
I got killed by so many of them sneaking up behind me, and I didn't even notice.
Jeez.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I'm glad they're stationary. Well, they last too long, though.
Agreed.
I think I've told this story. I was crown hunting for him, and I only needed a small crown for him at the time. I was almost positive he was a small crown, and it was only a 15-minute quest, and I literally failed the quest because I was stuck between two tornadoes and being bounced back and forth.
Oh yeah, I remember that you told me about that.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
I was mad. It was the first time I got legitimately mad at Monster Hunter World. I was like, oh man, this stinks. And then, of course, I talk about it on the Discord, and someone's like, hey, you should have put on wind resistance. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks.
It doesn't do anything. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
You would need to fight Kush to get his armor to stop the wind.
Well, I mean, I was wearing 2 pieces of his armor at the time, but my build is Valhazic, so.
I have a question for you, G-Rank.
Yeet.
Can you block her explosions with guard up?
Her explosions. Okay, with guard up you can block when she sets the blue fires down, and she sends out towards you like the wind blast. You can block those with guard up. Without guard up, you can't.
Okay.
Guard up does not stop the heat damage. You cannot block heat.
Yeah.
It's all around
Right.
you. But also, I don't know if you actually need guard up to block the initial Nova Blast, but I assume you do because that's how it is with Teostra.
Right. Probably.
Okay.
I haven't tried to block it because I have a longsword, so.
Have you
foresight
countered
slash.
it before?
Oh no, yeah, I've countered it. I've gotten pretty good at countering Teostra. Lunastra, it's a little bit harder because there's the initial blast of when she comes up in the air and she dives down and then she explodes, and then you have to dodge that or counter that, and then you have to counter any sort of the blue fire just exploding randomly. So if you're near any of that, you have to counter that. And then at the end, she sort of does a final push and everything blows up. And that, you need to counter that too. I've done it. I've never done it where I've had to dodge fire at the same time because it's not on the same sort of cadence. You could still get hit by it. But I've done it with the initial and the final blast a couple times. It's not really worth it a lot of the time though because your damage is just getting eaten up by that fire. In fact, her super attack is one of the ones that like I am at a loss with how to deal with sometimes other than run away. Like sometimes she pulls it off and I'm like, well, I know I have died right here. There's nothing I can do. I am dead.
Oof.
And I will be at like 3/4 of health and I'm like, don't know what to do. So it's not infuriating or anything. I think I just haven't figured it out. So what do you guys feel like how this quest rolled out? Like the working with the Teostra and then doing all those special quests and all that kind of stuff.
I kind of liked how they laid out the quest. I liked the whole chase Teostra into the arena, and then here's Nergigante, but then here comes wife Teostra, and she just like gives him the business, like all hands off my man. She's a good wife, good waifu.
Yeah,
That's why I kind of agree. It was a nice shock.
I was actually expecting to fight both her and Two in the arena at the same time though, so I was confused when he like left. But I guess it makes sense because he was pretty tired or whatever from the initial fight before that.
yeah. He was trying to sleep beforehand. Like, man, I'm still tired. I'm going away. I legitimately thought you had to fight all three in that arena because they all three roar at you, and it does that thing where the cutscene ends and it sort of pans behind you to that normal view. And I'm like, oh no, they're all three still here. And then the two of them flew off, and I'm like, oh okay. Whew.
I kind of would have liked that honestly, just like for how disgusting that would have gotten as a quest.
Yeah,
You get super rainbow pigment from it.
Oh, don't even talk about rainbow pigment.
I don't like it in World. I've always liked it, but I don't like it in World that
It's
much.
not vivid enough.
It's kind of gross. IMO.
It's very pastel. It feels like.
I felt like they were like murky.
I do have one complaint because I haven't seen it yet. I could be wrong. So Luna can only fight with Nergigante, Kushi, and by accident Teostra, right?
Well,
She's never fought Teostra.
I just
they
mean like
just
friendly
threw the
fire.
team up. Yeah,
Oh,
they
friendly
do.
fire? I have no idea, honestly.
I'm a little upset that there's no way for Lunastra to fight.
Val.
Yeah, Val. Because
He
I
got
had
incinerated. He's weak to fire.
That's what I mean. Is I had this amazing idea of when she fights Val, she sets the effluvium on fire.
Ooh,
That'd be
that's
interesting, actually.
yeah. Unfortunately, Val is like He's like the elder that like no one wants to touch. He's always just in the Rotten Vale.
He's
Like,
great.
stay down there,
Smelly.
Val.
Covered in rotten meat. Of course, I want to touch him.
And Kieran's kind of the same way. You stay in the Coral Highlands. No one. They kind of get like sequestered to their little area. They don't get to go to the Elders Recess. They don't get to go to the cool Elders Club. They're not in the in crowd. Yeah, sorry, a bit of a mind blank there.
No, that's all good.
My name is Toaster. You're talking with G-Rank Qurupeco, and this is Hunter's Hub.
Thanks. I needed. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say.
See, it works.
So they do the team up attack, right? And we talked about that a little bit, but basically they start flying around each other in this really cool looking thing, and then Lunastra is below Toaster, and he blows up and he affects her blast and it gets bigger. And that's a really cool attack, a really cool mechanic. Unfortunately, it's a very rare scenario. Like, I don't think investigations can have multiple elders. And that's how most people hunt, is investigations. Unless I'm wrong. But also the optional quest that doesn't specifically have Teostra and Lunastra, it's only Nergigante or Kushala that show up in that quest. So you don't really get to see this other than when you first fight her. They sort of show it off. And it's that one optional quest, I think. So like, how could they have better done this? Like, because it feels like it's sort of like they put a lot of work into it, obviously, but it kind of feels almost wasted because you're not going to see it in the normal game loop, I guess.
I mean, they have that also, the new event quest. It was like, I think it's called Throne Taker, where it's just Sapphire Stars guidance, but instead of Kushala, it's Lunastra instead.
That is true, yes. There was that event quest, which I soloed it in 27 minutes. So I think I did well.
I think they can handle it by having each of them registered as like an invader. If you're doing a Teostra investigation, Lunastra will invade, and if you're doing a Lunastra investigation, Teostra will invade. I think that would have probably solved that issue pretty easily.
They could also maybe introduce investigations where you have multiple Elder Dragons in one investigation. Might be nice.
Yeah, that's true too. Those would be nice and probably well sought after, because I know when I was crown hunting, if you had more monsters in it, it also had a good chance also. I think that's part of the reason why those event quests that had extra crowns sort of worked. I don't think it was a gimmick that they had bigger crowns. I think it was just the combination of all the mechanics. The extra monsters, the time limit, and that kind of stuff. The sort of everything that sort of feeds into crown hunting was there, and then you had 5 monsters in some cases, or 4 in others.
I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that because it is 5, you just have more of a chance of hitting it on per quest, and you could get those 5 monster quests done very fast.
Oh yeah, with such reduced health. So, do you guys plan on continue to farm her, or like have you basically got the armor and you're like, okay,
I'm done.
Yeah.
Since I haven't fought her yet, remember?
Yeah.
I still need to go through. I want to get all her armor. I want to get all her weapons. Unless she has, does she have randomized weapons like Kulve or no?
No. She has she has branching paths that upgrading to either Basil Goose, Nergigante, or Xenojiva.
Right.
Really?
So if you want to truly craft every armor, or weapon, you're going to have to craft 3 of each weapon.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
A lot of gems.
Yeah.
But she's
But
not.
the gimmick is that. Oh, my bad.
Oh, I was gonna say she's not limited, is she? She's just in the game now, or is she gonna be like Kulve, where she disappears after a while?
She's just in the game now.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like Devil Joe. Although getting her investigations is not easy, in my opinion.
Supposedly the investigations were made easier though, because
they are easier, thankfully.
Because park breaks now give investigations.
Well, they gave investigations. They now give tempered investigations if you're fighting a tempered monster. Which I have almost exclusively fought her tempered because that's been the easiest way to get investigations. the other way to do it is just sort of do other a non-tempered quest and just hope you'll randomly get one on an investigation grab. Which,
Okay.
I don't know. That's been less successful for me. So, I plan on continue to crown farm her. As I don't know if I mentioned it on or before the pod, but I've done, I think it's 58 of them of Lunastra. Quite a lot. I've actually already exceeded my Kushala count with the gold crowns.
Wow.
So, and I don't have any for Lunastra. I've come close. I've been like, oh, that's a cute little Lunastra. That's going to be good enough. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't reach its tail. Neither were crowns. So, still working on it. I think I'm going to try to get that done before the arc tempered stuff gets out. Well, try to. I don't have a lot of time left to do that. But yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was thinking something. Go on.
I'm just saying, like, I find her a decently fun fight. She's definitely more challenging than other monsters, and I don't think that's just because she's new. I think she legitimately is a challenging monster, and I think that speaks to the fact that in her tempered form, she doesn't do any more damage with her fire. It's the same. So
Really? Huh.
The tempered version isn't really that much harder. She like her claw swipes and other stuff will hit a little bit harder. And I think that's it.
But it's not like a super upgrade like some of the other ones were.
No.
Okay.
So, I saw on Twitter there, G-Rank, you had like a bit of a list there of like what you like and didn't like about her. Do you mind going over that for us?
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know, what should I go over exactly?
Well, I mean, I think you had some interesting thoughts. You talked about there was some like seemingly instant attacks, which I actually kind of agree with you. I'm very much not a hey, this is an instant attack. There's always a tell. But I
feel like she's the first kind. Like, maybe I don't know if I want to say like the first monster with instant attack in Monster Hunter World, because Nurik has this whole like when you turn around, slam my hand into your face attack.
Right.
But there's still like a good portion of time where you can tell like, oh, he's doing this. Lunastra is like I'm gonna let the tail swipe slide, which is like that one like little really quick tail swipe.
Yeah.
But there are attacks where she'll just like rear up and it'll flap her wings, and all of a sudden you're taking like a good fifth or sixth of your health bar from heat damage.
Yes.
And she's also when she'll breathe her far to the side, then she'll flap her wing on that same side, and you get like wind, you get pressured by wind and the heat stacking up, and just like this is not fun to deal with.
That reminds me a
It's
little
very
bit of
intense.
Teostra.
Sorry, what?
It reminds me a little bit of Teostra, because a lot of his attacks kind of chain together too, where if you get hit by one, the next will come out like just a sliver of time right after you finally regain control of after your stagger or something like that.
I understand that, but I feel like Teostra's only like really quick attack from Teostra would be what's it? Oh my god. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
His only really quick attack is when he swipes his paw in front of his face.
Yeah.
But that's his fastest attack. That or like his little head bite, but that's not like a huge deal.
Right.
But the thing is, like, those attacks actually make contact with your body. Lunastra is just like nothing's touching you, but you're dying to heat, which is my least favorite part of that fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my main gripe with that is that Heat Guard, which is a skill in the game, it's a very like niche skill. It doesn't actually stop that from happening.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Heat Guard works the same way that Fire Mantle works, in that you can stand inside her blue flames and not take damage, but like outside of that, you're still gonna take damage from her just flapping her wings at you.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can go over.
No, it's
cool?
fine. So yeah, I think that's Lunastra in a nutshell, really. I mean,
I love
she's
her
fun.
armor.
the armor's good. I actually changed my armor set again. I'm now using Lunastra legs and Devil Joe helm. Yes. So that's a big thing for me, G-Rank, because like I had the same armor set from, what was it, 80 hours to 330. 310. I used the exact same armor set.
I feel like whenever they drop a new monster, the armor sets keep changing. People switch from Joe to Kulve to now Lunastra.
It's because everybody wants to try the fancy new stuff. I had a quick question about Lunastra, actually.
Yeah.
So I heard that her equipment has different skills, or like her weapons have actual skills on them.
They do. Actually, you get your choice of either Guts, Razor Sharp, or Haste and Recovery.
And is that based on like each individual weapon? Like you were saying, it splits into 3 different weapons.
Yeah, so like Basilgoose Tree will get the Guts, Nergigante Tree will get Haste and Recovery, and Xeno'jiiva will get Razor Sharp, or like, was it Ammo?
Yeah, ammo.
Boost.
It's the
Free shot?
ammo saver. Yeah, something
Ammo
like
Saver,
that.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you basically get a random chance to not spend a bullet.
Oh, that skill? That's awesome.
Yeah, and then
It's really good for the guns.
yeah, and the Blade Master equivalence is the one that halves sharpness loss.
Okay. So that's... See, I did not know about that. I knew about the, they have skills, but I didn't know it was your choice, too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's based on what you craft. You need gems. You'll need gems of the respective monster that they're sort of modified into.
So...
yeah, go ahead.
Another thing I was pointing about the looks, too. For her weapons, it looks like they're mostly modeled after the iron equipment. Is that true for all the weapons, or just the greatsword and the dual blades that I saw?
It's like not the final upgrade. If I can use the Nerd Lance as an example here, but you'll basically get the Nerd Lance before it becomes the awesome arm hand.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So you're stuck with the ugly, weird, spiky shield with the marker tip lance.
Okay.
I think it's different per weapon. I know the great sword is the iron one, but the long sword, it looks like I think it's the Xeno'jiiva long sword. It looks like.
Okay.
It's just blue. It's because it's got those tentacle thingies, and I'm pretty sure that's Xeno'jiiva.
Oh, the Xeno ones look pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, no, yeah, they do. But that's the thing with longswords. Longswords always look neat. I don't know what it is, but the longswords, they got so much better designs in this game. Whereas the other ones, they kind of fell by the way. There's some cool ones on the other weapons, but not as varied as in previous games.
I'm excited to see if they bring, the other monsters they have yet to bring in, what they're going to do with their armor sets. Because previously, I hated Lunastra's armor. I hated the look of it. I thought it was terrible. But
I don't think it's that great now.
Now that's in HD, it looks a lot better, though. Instead of just being like, this is completely ugly, you're like, okay, this is kind of acceptable now.
I like the silly hat you get.
Yes.
That's the one I hate the most, is the hat.
That's why I like it so much, because it's just so silly looking.
Yeah.
Now it gets me pretty excited of eventually maybe Seregios comes over and we get his cool spiky armor. Because I
like the idea of the armor, right? The idea is this sort of like a debonair, sort of like fancy armor. It's what it feels like to me, like very high class, like suit and tie kind of thing. Almost. I mean, for a male character at least. I don't play a female character, but
I don't like the waist piece, I think. It's my main gripe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very
I kind of
bulky.
don't remember what that one looks like.
It's like a weird kind of blocky skirt.
It reminds me of
It
chess
can't be
pieces.
as bad as Diablo's, right?
Oh, wait. Diablos is thick.
Yeah.
Not Uragan thick, but still, it's up there.
Yeah.
It reminds me of chess pieces. Hers along with Teostra's, they're very, queen to 5, B3 and stuff like that.
Which is certainly the best part.
I like the legs. So I've actually used the layered armor. I actually used the Guild Knight stuff all the way down except for the legs, and the legs are Lunastra's just normal legs. I think that's a pretty good aesthetic. It looks very flashy, very, I don't know. I just like how it looks.
I did have something I wanted to commend you for as a Lance user, by the way. And that is having the persistence to like wear armor that makes Lance good, because most of the armor that has skills that are awesome for Lance doesn't.
Oh, you're talking about
look
Basilgoose and the Uragan.
Yeah, most Lance armor doesn't look super cool.
It's very, very chunky armor, which suits for Lance. But thankfully, that new brigade set that came out for layered armor is all I wear now.
Nice.
Yep. same here. It's pretty good looking. Makes you look very dodgy. I don't
I was
know.
gonna say dapper, but same. I mean, they're both D words. Works out.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, did you guys have anything else to say on Lunastra, or
I have something to say kind of about Lunastra.
sure?
With all her physics effects and random explosions, again, this it's one of those. It makes me wish they'd bring other monsters over, because they did get a great job with those physics effects and explosions. So now I want to see like Gormagala and Shigarabagala with all their huge area explosions and stuff going on in the same engine with all the same particle effects and lighting and all that stuff.
All right. I mean, normally I'd disagree with you and say we need something else in the Rotten Vale, but I'll allow it.
I
Gore
think
can go in the Rotten Vale.
I was like, Gore can go in the Rotten Vale, and then
More smelly monsters.
Shigira can be in the Coral Highlands
Yeah,
because he's all
yeah, I
pretty.
could see that. It would be kind of a tough fight because I mean I can't imagine fighting Shagaru outside of that arena, but yeah.
You can just fight him up in Kieran's Nest. It's large enough.
Like we're calling it Kieran's nest, not like Yana's nest.
It's because
Like, doesn't live there anymore. She got evicted by Kieran.
Yeah, I noticed you said that last week during the prediction episode, Toaster, and I was like, yeah, I think it's like Yana's, but I'm not gonna say anything.
like I like Legiana because of its gear and equipment, but whenever I've gone hunting with anyone else, no one wants to fight it, and nobody needs it for anything. So it's like I just kind of forget it exists.
I mean, I'd fight it with you. I actually like Legiana, but I don't have a use for her right now.
I like it too, and she's pretty. It's just nobody really needs her for anything.
Everyone's got to fight their tempered elders for their decorations now.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Can we?
Yeah.
Can we get arch tempered Legiana then?
I think it's just reserved for Elder
Elders.
Dragons
Aw.
so
Yeah.
far. Yeah, and, well, that's a good transition. Now it's the next thing we were going to talk about is the arc-tempered stuff. So supposedly, I don't think plans have changed, but I think it's supposed to be this Thursday or Friday, right? That we're going to get arc-tempered Kieran.
Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Oh, can't wait.
Who's
I
got-
mean, I like tempered Kieran. I actually soloed tempered Kieran a couple times just because I wanted to. Kuro on my list, Kieran's my number 3, so I actually like the fight and the monster a lot. But I'm not really sure to feel about arc tempered. Like, how much tougher is this going to be? And like, what can they do to that armor set to make it so much more desirable that people are like, yeah, I'll go in and, have an automatic one-shot monster.
I mean,
Either new aesthetics, because that's how it's been in older games. Like G-Rank gets a new design for their armor, which usually looks nice, and more slots for armor pieces, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if it does have the amount of slots that Lunastra armor does, that might be very, very good. But I mean, like, what is Kieran's armor has like what? Thunder
attack, marathon runner, free element.
yeah, free
light
element's the
resistance.
big thing. I think they might just make it an untyped, so they'll get rid of like the thunder attack, but they'll keep the other more generalist stuff.
Oh, I don't want to say anything too much, but I have seen the skills for both armor sets.
Oh,
I don't really want to say too much about that, but I look forward to the slots is all I want to say.
okay.
Point taken.
I'm still scared to fight it because I soloed. It took me a couple tries, but I did solo a tempered Kieran, and I did so with a heavy bowgun with a shield and several guard skills on it.
Okay, that's a respectable way to do
That's
it.
fair.
I think.
A win's a win.
Because you can just, and plus with a heavy bowgun using like normal 3, you can just kind of pink at its face over and over again, and there's anytime you think it's going to attack, you just stare directly at it and hold still, and it'll bounce off your shield.
I I'm kind of excited to fight it, honestly, just to see what the challenge is.
Same.
Not that I'm super eager for a tougher challenge than Lunastra right now, but or tempered Lunastra at least. But I don't know. I think it might be fun, and I am just curious about the armor itself and how good it's gonna be. And I don't think it'll make me use that armor because it would get rid of my Valhazic recovery. Which I really like, which is why I'm excited that the next one is going to be Valhazic. So that's awesome.
I think I'm more excited for Valhazak than Kieran.
Yeah, I think the aesthetic of the armor looks really cool too. That default blue that they showed on the armor, I think that looks pretty sweet.
I mean, Valhazak's looks nice in terms of just I like the design of it, the textures and the very rotting look. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I might have to get.
I
rid
like
of
the
my
second
layered
jaw
armor.
he's got going on, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that is cool. It is a very cool aesthetic for that monster.
I have a fun idea for an event quest they could do.
What's that?
Since we didn't get a tempered Great Jagras, can we get an arc tempered Great Jagras? Just to have one for an event quest.
In a perfect world, yes, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I would love that though too.
Yeah, you know what I want to say? He goes into rage mode and his dreadlocks, they start going up like they're like
Super
some sort of
Saiyan.
electricity
Yes.
ball. Yeah, or Super Saiyan. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
The quest title would be "You Thought." Thought. THOUGHT. Come on.
That's what I. This
Oh,
I didn't
never
say
mind.
anything. I don't even
Anyway,
know what you were trying to reference.
nothing. I thought you were laughing at something else. My bad.
Is this another anime reference that
No.
I'm not gonna get? Okay.
We do need all the fanged wyverns that got neglected. The Great Gyros, Dodogama, Great Jagras. They do need tempered forms though. I think just for fun.
Yeah, I want to see the Great Gyros when it's tempered and its like fangs are dragging on the ground, and it's like creating two lines on the ground of parallel.
Every bite does para.
I'll say
Yeah.
every attack you do to it does to para.
And
It
there's
just
this,
bounces off of you. You get parried.
there's this like yellow fire on the ground. There's just paralysis where its fangs have been touching. It just leaves paralysis behind.
At one point, are we just slowly transitioning over to Frontier?
Yes, I think we are.
Oh boy.
Oh man, I love Frontier.
My
I'd have-
Monhun DeviantArt OCs.
yeah.
I will say though, arc tempered Puka Puka with poison everywhere would just be horrible.
Please don't. Any monster with poison is automatically just worse.
Ooh, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Imagine if for the arc tempered, when they're giving all the Elder Dragons random arc versions, they snuck in Chameleos.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'd love that.
I love Chameleos back. He deserves a spot back.
Yeah,
He does. He's one of the very few status elders. It's kind of weird though because did you guys see that joke that was going around for a long time? It was like, here's a list of the new elders, and they're like, "Where's Chameleos?" Like, he's invisible, duh.
Can't see him.
he's
He's
been
there watching, supporting you from the bushes.
He's been in the forest map the whole time. No one's just shot at the right spot in the trees.
That'd be amazing. And then also scary.
Yeah.
He's been watching you this whole time.
I'd love if he dropped down to your face if you hit him in the right spot. You remember the cutscene from For You where you see Chameleos and he jumps at you? There's that freeze frame where his mouth's just wide
Oh
open.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the fangs in the eyes. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, super creepy stuff.
I always thought he was fun, and I've said this before with the wish list thing, but I always thought it'd be cool to have a monster that's hunting you versus you gathering tracks to find it. You gather the tracks and it leads you just to an empty area and there's nothing there.
Ooh, it subverts the expectations. I get it.
That sounds really cool though.
It does. I kind of like the arc tempered. I mean, there's not really a lot to say until it comes out. I guess we try it. So
I want to know, are the arc tempers getting new moves?
If they do,
supposedly,
then that's
yes.
basically G-Rank at that point.
I saw somewhere on Twitter someone said they are, but I don't know how credible that is. Like I don't remember who said it, and I don't remember I just remember seeing it.
Unless like the official Monhun Twitter tweets about it, I think it's whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the the community managers do a good job of keeping us informed on a lot of what's changing and that kind of thing when they can. Obviously, they you can tell they're really holding back some secrets sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Socks, you already give us secrets.
Yeah. Oh man, but they would totally get in trouble if they did. So I won't ever. I would never ask them to do that. I like them in their positions.
PM me, we won't snitch. Don't do that though.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good way not to get PM'd.
I really miss the community managers little videos they used to make for like the DLCs.
Oh yes,
because I still have hi, Yori from Capcom here. This month we're having, and then just launches into a bunch of fun stuff that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, and truly we did get an update every month for a long time, especially in Generations and 4U. Yuri and Socks doing that.
I wonder if they're going to bring that back for Generations 2.
I don't know.
I hope they would.
About that.
Because they have just as much monthly DLC in Generations 2, if not a little bit more. So
I don't know this Generation 2 you speak of. I think you're talking about
Generations
Ultimate.
Like it just sounds weird. Generations Ultimate. Like
they could have gone with like New Generation, but
I thought New Generation would be cool, or Generation X, because that way you still keep the cross theme.
I remember when they called they announced Double Cross. I went nuts. I was like, you really called it Double Cross?
That was an awesome name.
It was
the commercial though. Double Crossu. I'm like, oh, hype.
Yeah. Man, Japanese guys get all the cool stuff.
I pointed
they
that
get
out.
all the theme parks and the restaurants. Oh man.
Oh, did you ever look at the DLC content that they got that we didn't get because of licensing and stuff?
Like the Pirate J
sure,
armor and stuff?
I'm pretty sure that's all anime stuff. Am I wrong?
Some of it was not. There was
okay.
One of them came back in I think it's actually in Double Cross, which makes me excited. But it's a hunting horn that is a electric rock organ with a keyboard and everything.
Oh, okay.
That was in 3U too, I believe.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
But then when 4U came out, that was in the game, just not for us.
It was like High Voltage Rev or something.
Yeah, there was a bunch of really cool looking weapons that we just never got, and so that's why I'm looking forward to. From what it looks like, Generations, they kept a lot more of the anime crossovers in. So Generations Ultimate, I hate that name, will hopefully look better too. We're having more stuff too.
Yeah, it's gonna be refreshing going back to like a more cartoony Monhun as opposed to the, like, realistic quote unquote style they're going for in this game and world.
Right. I think there's merits to both styles. I really like the how you see the damage on a monster when you're hitting it in world. But I do like the sort of cartoony style. I think that works out well for monsters like Gore and Zenogre and that kind of stuff, where you get to be a little bit more flashy.
I think it's kind of weird though that like when you hit a monster enough, it like kind of gets this kind of dusty white effect on its face or wherever you're hitting it. I don't quite understand that.
I still think the theory that they went with dust instead of blood. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because when they were hitting it, like, people thought, like, because it looks like you're hitting concrete sometimes when you hit them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought that was just, like, before Worlds came out, everybody was like, well, they're just doing that so that way they can have, like, advertisements. Otherwise, you'd have sprays of blood and you couldn't show that in an advertisement. And then the real game came out and we still looked like we're hitting concrete. So I'm like, I kind of miss the blood spatters from the old games.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Japanese version's got a lot more blood than we did.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know about that.
Are you gonna see in Gen U that was just gonna be pink critical streaks across your screen most of the time though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have issues with that already with Dual Blades and Worlds, where if you have enough critical and stuff like that, and you go to like have weakness exploit and you go out a tail, you don't get to see until your Dragon Dance is over.
I need to see to play Monster Hunter. That's ridiculous. Play with your heart.
Some things you see with your eyes, others you see with your heart. I actually put that on Twitter not that long ago. That's a Land Before Time reference, if anyone's seen that.
Aw, sad though. You're gonna be with me. What do I have to know?
I've been watching it like every day for the past like month because of my girls.
Oh boy.
It's a really good movie.
Just the
It
first
is.
one or the rest of them?
Just the first one. We dabbled in the other ones, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just horrible. Just
Do you-
don't.
I know this is not really Monster Hunter related, but do you hate Sarah yet? Because I hate Sarah.
She is the jerk of the group. I
She's
will
the
say
brat.
that. Yeah.
Like the whole movie could have been avoided if it weren't for Sarah.
Yeah. I think that there are many problems due to Sarah and her racism. Yes.
Yo, her father mad racist.
Oh, dude, they actually address that in one of the other movies. I think
Really?
it's the third one. Oh yeah, it's like they all get in trouble. No, it's the second one. They all get in trouble for something, and then like they all talk about how their parents chewed them out. Like, don't go out there on your own. You could get hurt. And they're all like blah 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 blah. And then like, isn't that what your parents said, Sarah? She's like, well, that and you shouldn't be hanging around long necks swimmers and spike tails.
Three horns don't play with long necks. Remember that
Yeah.
line always.
Yeah, it's like, wow, they're really pushing this racism thing. Oh man, sorry, tangent. I love that movie though. I don't know. I love it. So with that, I think Lobo. I think we have time this week.
We do have time, I believe, and I can actually do a full one instead of doing Iodrome.
Okay, cool. So let's hear it.
Give me like 10 seconds to come up with a way to introduce this.
Okay, sure.
Did we do Gravios already?
No, we haven't done Gravios.
I love Gravios.
All right. I'll just go in like a normal research thing. I was gonna try doing a Godzilla thing, but I don't have no idea how to do it without being racist. So,
Yeah.
welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Monster Balloon. We've returned. Our Zeppelin is ready and fueled up again, and we are flying to the foreign volcanoes of the east to view this giant fire-breathing monstrosity, the Gravios. It is as tall as a mountain and as wicked as the devil.
Okay.
This month or this week we're talking about Gravios. It is a flying in the most not literal sense of the word wyvern.
It's a rock wyvern.
Yes.
Flying rock wyvern.
It is a pile of rocks that has wings and breathes fire. I think less breathes fire and more breathes laser beams, just angry laser
Yeah,
beams.
laser beams of fire.
So they are very large. Gravios, if you remember previously, we talked about Basarios.
Yes.
And a Basarios is a just smaller Gravios. It's just literally a baby Gravios.
Yeah, it's a juvenile Gravios. Yeah.
And Gravios comes in very many shapes and sizes, most of them large. It is actually one of the larger monsters in the game, I believe.
Yes. One of the larger non-boss monsters for sure.
Yes. It certainly outranks. It's bigger than Nergigante by far, I think. Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you hadn't gotten it before, they do have Fire Blight. They use fire attacks, and
Right.
luckily they are insanely weak to water. I mean, a squirt gun could kill a Gravios if with enough patience.
That's kind of what a light bow gun is, anyway. So.
Yes. So, if you ever get the chance to play For You or Generations Ultimate, see if you can get a water light bow gun early on, especially now that they have light bow guns with piercing elemental shots. And if you fire
Yeah.
pierce water through a Gravios, it dies.
Yeah.
They do have a little bit of limited flight. It's generally used just to pick itself up and then drop itself on the ground.
Right.
And so most of his attacks consider of using body slams, shooting Godzilla-like laser beams, and rolling over. And man, rolling over hurts a lot.
Yeah. It's hard to. It's got to tell, but it's so big that it's kind of hard to be like like I need to get out of here now.
And that roll can hit you several times, can't it?
I don't. I think if you get up early, you can.
Only once.
Okay. It'll at least push you, because I remember trying to guard it, and that caused issues sometimes.
Yeah, it will push you.
It's a very big monster.
It also has an ability to expel gas from its undersides. Not that way, but sleeping gas from its underside.
Underbelly.
Yes, underbelly.
Underbelly. There you go.
Similar to a Basarios, but this one's actually sleeping gas, which will put you to sleep before it rolls over onto you. Which just, again, lots of painful. Also, it can expel flammable gas after it uses its heat beams. That way, it can burn off the heat. I believe Gravios is one of those few monsters where you can actually flip it over and mount its belly to break its chest and belly scales off, so it can't use those attacks anymore.
Yeah.
I always had issues with it as well. I'm not sure about you two. Because Gravios is a very hard monster. If you don't have a great sharp weapon, you will bounce off a significant amount of it. And unless you're like Fortuan and running around with a longsword or a charge blade, hitting its tail is incredibly hard. It's high up there.
Yeah. Lance can get it too.
Does the
barely.
poke? I was about to say, does the poke go up that high?
Yeah, the high poke, it can hit the club part of the tail.
Depends on the length of the legs.
That's true.
And something you might be familiar with, G-Rank, you can guard some of its attacks, like it's rolling over, it's jumping up and down. Downside, when it jumps up and down, it does Earth Shake, which just negates shielding entirely. And then you can, without the guard up skill, you cannot guard its expelled gas or its giant laser beams.
No, you cannot.
Which I forgot that many times, and I forgot that you can back up enough. So generally, I used to use gun lance back when I faced this thing a lot. And man, just if you forget that you can't back up, and when you're trying to get away from that sleep beam, you just die. You will be put to sleep, drop your weapon, and get rolled over on. Did you guys ever have any difficulties actually fighting the Gravios?
I did in Monster Hunter 1.
He was around since then?
Yeah, he's an original monster.
Wow.
Him and Basarius were.
Okay.
And he had a nasty habit of going to an unreachable spot and then just spamming lasers.
I did not know about that.
Well, just being a smart monster.
It was, but it did cause us to time out several times.
Oh, that's terrible, actually.
Yeah. And I know I talked about this story way back in the old version of the podcast, but I'll talk about it here. It's when my OG crew back on PS2 of Monster Hunter, we were playing, and this is back when I was first playing in a heavy bowgunner before I lost that save. The Gravius is sitting there on the island in the volcano, and island is in there's a giant U, and imagine in the top of the U, the space, there's a little island, and he's standing on that island and just shooting lasers at us, and he won't move. He's just shooting lasers, and this went on for 10 minutes, and we're just okay, we're bored at this point. So my friend, he decides he's going to do the taunt animation. If you guys remember, it's where he lays on his back and he's like, come on, come get me. He's kind of doing a crunch.
Oh yeah, that one.
I miss the old taunt.
Yeah. And he's doing that, and he's sort of teasing the monster, and then he sees me and in my drawn heavy bowgun done shooting, just sort of walk off to the side and then roll, because that's how you had to do it. You just walk really slowly and then you roll the last possible second. He's like, uh-oh, he's coming for me, isn't it? And he got our third cart, because he just sit there and taunted the monster till it charged him.
Deserved.
Sounds like he got what he wanted.
Well, deserved for him, not for our fellow hunters on that same quest. It was good and very awful times of Monster Hunter. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say on Gravius. He's not particularly hard, or I don't think a very interesting fight, because he's so tough. You got to have high sharpness, and once you get the high enough sharpness and the water damage, it just kind of goes down. So it's it's very, very hard or very easy monsters. Not a lot of mid ground there.
I think
But that design though looks so good.
I think
Oh
he's
no,
one
he
of
looks
those,
great. Yeah.
I think he was one of those check monsters where he's just like, okay, you've gotten too comfortable. Here's something that's hard to hit, and if you're not paying attention, it will kill you. But now that once you know how to fight it, you're fine. What about you?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you ever have any issues, G-Rank?
I think you touched on a little bit with the whole fire gas, being able to block that without guard up. I had forgotten that a few times, and I've gotten very frustrated over. It's like, oh, well, maybe I'll just go stand over here. My gun friends take care of you. I'll go gather some fire cell stone instead. And
Fine, I'm
aside
gonna go
from-
mine some rocks.
pretty much. Aside from that, though, I don't think I had too many issues aside from just forgetting to not block the gas sometimes.
Okay.
Alright.
So,
Yeah.
there are variants of the Gravios.
Oh goody.
The first is
Well,
probably more
I know
commonly
one of them.
known. I would hope so.
Yeah.
The Black Gravios. If you've ever wanted a Cantor that wasn't a Elder Dragon, well, there you go. Black Gravios. It is just a bigger Gravios that's black and covered in red spines and likes lava.
There is one difference.
Oh?
His fire beam is always straightforward, except for Black Gravius, where he will sweep it left to right. Or
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I forget, is it... Gravios can do the thing where he walks and shoots it as well, right?
yeah, that was added in the 4th generation.
Okay.
The old games he didn't do that, but yeah, that happened. And he also does the walking and exploding too.
Probably the big step and then the psh,
Yeah.
the fire gas.
Yep.
There's a couple more variations. There's we're getting into the wonderful, crazy land of Frontier now. There is an origin species of Gravios, the ancient version of Gravios. It is called Geradomosu. Yep,
Okay.
that's how it translates.
Never heard of them.
Imagine a Gravios, except make it rock sand colored and covered in
Okay.
green moss and funnels and just very naturey.
That sounds delightful.
It actually
Sounds like Duramboros.
it uses water element instead of fire, and it's actually weak to fire and thunder.
Huh.
Yeah, they're considered an origin species, kind of like a dinosaur is to like a crocodile. That's a terrible example. Ecology majors don't yell at me, but
I was going to.
it is an old version of it. I'm not sure how they address the origin species. I haven't looked too much into Frontier lore because it's very hard to find information on it. But
Right.
they seem to have a theme where they have these origin versions of monsters, and I think it's fun.
Okay.
There are 2 other quick variants, of course, and these are the fun ones. There are hardcore versions of Gravios and Black Gravios.
Nice.
So the hardcore Gravios is a bigger Gravios with more spikes, more muscles, and now it has. They gave the normal Gravios the high sweeping beam, and it sweeps across the entire battlefield in 1 second.
Oh no.
So no slow beam. It just zoop. So make sure you know how to time or evade or I think guard point. I don't know if Frontier has guard points, but hopefully it does.
It's got Tonfas.
When it does that, it almost falls over itself, similar to how Xeno'jiva actually will
Oh, okay.
fall over into the ground when it has that.
Yeah, when it slams the ground and sort of falls in a bit.
Yes. It also has a charge attack where it'll kind of back up and face the person that's charging, then run forward really fast and slide into it like drifting and slam into the ground at the last second. As well as it actually can it has a tail swing now where it walks forward like it's about to do the beam and then instead swings its tail around.
I mean, he's always kind of swung his tail around. Are you talking like the full tail spin, like where he does like a spin, like the full 360?
Yeah, like a big spin, but it's also a lot faster than his normal just kind of turning attack.
Oh, okay. He does do that normally, but okay. It sounds like it is different.
And now you have the hardcore Black Gravios, which the older one looked really cool, was black. This one, like the red is integrated into it. Like the tips of all its spines are red, is just
Okay.
bigger and angry, and it uses like magma style attacks.
Oh,
So now it has a bigger super beam attack that does even more damage. Because why not? It also will use it has like openings on its tail that it can release toxic and hot gases and exploding gases in slam attacks with its tail. And even worse, now it has the ability to fly by flapping upwards and then using its beam pointed straight down like a rocket to help itself hover in the air while it spins around.
That sounds awesome.
And then when it's done
Wow.
spinning around, it body slams and makes heat and magma burst up from the ground.
I want to
Wow.
fight this new Gravios now.
It
Yeah,
is-
see, that's what I'm saying. We need Frontier. We need it.
Let me have silly monster fights.
It just makes me excited
Yes.
that something flies using its laser breath. I always, you've seen those comics where that's how Joe got to the New World, by using his breath to fly.
Yeah, that one Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that's
We're
literally
chasing the
a
squid
reference
thing.
from Godzilla. He did it frame by frame from that Godzilla movie.
Really?
Yes, he did.
That is
It's
awesome.
amazing. I almost want to say he did a comparison video himself. I almost want to say he did. I've seen it, at least.
Was that NHC or
Yeah, it's NCH.
Yeah.
NCH? I'm sorry, I always
Oh my
mess up
God.
the order of those. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
NCH.
no, it's fine. We only had him on 3 episodes ago, Toaster. I mean, it's...
I'm sorry, NCH.
Oh, man.
But
All right, cool.
yeah, that's it. Gravios is a fun monster. He's a little easy once you figure him out, but at least looks wise and the areas he's found in, he looks really fun. And his
Okay.
armor is big and bulky. Now, I don't want to go into all his weapons because we are running a little long, but a big bulky thing makes big bulky armor.
Yeah. Yep. Very much like Urigan armor.
Yes.
Thank you, Hunters, for joining us today. I think we had a fun discussion there. Sorry if I was a little tired sounding. But you can find us at Hunters Hub Pod. And I should really mention that thank you, Wolfie Melon, for the music. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. And Jeremy Clark for the art. So we will see you guys next quest. And on that quest, where can we find you, G-Rank?
Gotta find me on my Twitch at twitch.tv/G-Rank Qurupeco, or might use the same handle for Twitter as well, where I sometimes post art every now and then.
Nice. I like your art, by the way. So far, at least. Really like you had like a guy there. Like I don't know if it was a drawing of yourself or someone. It was like
Oh man, no, I wish I was good looking.
Just
Just some characters for a thing.
yeah, it was actually pretty cool looking.
Thank you.
I liked it. And Toaster, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Twitters at Toasty Smiles. And I may have a YouTube channel coming up. We'll see. Ooh. And also, you'll be finding us getting ready to hunt the one-horned monster.
Oh, okay. I wonder where that is. All right. Oh man. Sorry. So, what'd you think, G-Rank?